If you're 65 or older in Canada, there's a second check sitting right on top of your old age security that your own province owes you, often more than $1,300 a year, and nobody at Service Canada is going to phone to tell you it's there. Today I'll walk you through 6 provincial top-ups, who qualifies for each, and the one step it takes to claim them. Stay with me until number 6, because that's the one almost everyone gets completely backwards, and it quietly cancels the other 5. Number 1. Ontario and the Gains payment. GAINS stands for the Guaranteed Annual Income System, and it's a monthly top-up for lower-income Ontario seniors 65 and older who already receive the Guaranteed Income Supplement. For the benefit year that runs July 2026 through June 2027, a single senior can receive up to about $92 a month, and a senior couple up to roughly $184 a month combined. That's over $1,000 a year for a single person, more for a couple, landing on the same day as your OAS. Here's the mechanism most people miss. GAINS is automatic, but only if you're already getting the federal GIS. And GIS only flows if you file your income tax return every single year. So the classic mistake is a senior with almost no income who thinks, I earn nothing, why file? And by skipping that return, they knock out their GIS, and GAINS vanishes with it. Take Margaret, 74, in Sudbury. She lived on OAS alone, stopped filing for 2 years because she made nothing, and lost roughly $1,100 of GAINS plus about $14,000 in GIS before an accountant caught it and filed both returns to restart the payments. Your GIS eligibility as a single senior cuts off around $22,000 of income, so most people living on OAS clear it easily if they just file. The action step is simple. File your taxes every year by the April 30th deadline, even with zero income, and the Ontario top-up shows up on its own. No form, no phone call, no application. Number 2. British Columbia and the Seniors Supplement. This is BC's version of the same idea, and it works the same automatic way. If you're a BC resident receiving the federal GIS, the province adds a Seniors Supplement on top, currently up to roughly $99 a month for a single senior, and about $60 a month each for a couple. That's close to $1,200 a year for one person that you never have to apply for, but automatic fools people. It is only automatic once your GIS is active, and every year the government rechecks your income from your tax return to decide if you still qualify. The common error here is a senior who takes a lump sum 1 year, sells something, cashes in an RRSP, sees their supplement stop, and assumes they lost it forever. Picture a widower in Kelowna who withdrew $12,000 from an RRSP to fix a roof. That one withdrawal pushed his taxable income over the GIS line, and both his GIS and his $99 supplement went to zero for a year, about $2,200 gone. Had he pulled $6,000 that December and $6,000 the following January, he'd have stayed under the threshold in both years and kept every dollar. In most cases it comes back the next year once income drops, but only if the tax return is filed on time so the province can recalculate. If your supplement disappeared after a one-time bump in income, don't assume it's gone. File, and watch the next July. Number 3. Alberta and the Alberta Seniors Benefit. This is the one where the never-claim problem is worst. Because, unlike Ontario and BC, Alberta does not hand it to you automatically. You have to apply, once, through the province. And the money is real. A single senior can receive up to roughly $329 a month, and a senior couple up to about $493 a month, depending on income, with the benefit phasing out as income rises. That's potentially $3,000 to $4,000 a year. The mistake that costs Albertans the most is assuming that because they already get OAS and GIS federally, the provincial money is included. It is not. It sits behind a separate application form, and thousands of eligible Alberta seniors have simply never filled it out. Consider Frank in Red Deer. He collected OAS and GIS for 6 years, assumed Alberta's check was baked in, and only applied at 71, meaning roughly $19,000 of seniors benefit he could have had over those years was never paid, because the program doesn't backpay the years he didn't apply. His neighbor, who applied the month she turned 65, banked that same $300 a month from day one. The single senior income cutoff sits near $29,000 to $30,000, higher for couples. If you live in Alberta, are 65 or older and receive OAS, apply for the Alberta Seniors Benefit this week. even if you think your income might be a little too high, because the cutoff is more generous than most people guess. Number 4. Saskatchewan and the Seniors Income Plan, often just called SIP. This is a monthly provincial top-up for low-income Saskatchewan seniors 65 and up who receive OAS and GIS, and it can pay up to roughly $330 a month for a single senior. Like Alberta, this is money stacked directly on your federal benefits, and it's tied to that same GIS eligibility, which is tied to your tax return. Quick reminder before we go on, hold on to that idea of everything hinging on one federal step, because number 6 is where it all comes together, and it's the piece most people have backwards. In Saskatchewan, the typical error is a senior who moved provinces late in life and never realized the top-up they had somewhere else has a different name and different rules here. Take Eleanor, 68, who moved from Regina to be near her daughter and assumed her SIP would follow. It didn't, because SIV is Saskatchewan only, and she went 8 months collecting nothing extra before reapplying in her new province, forfeiting roughly $2,600 she'd have kept had she checked on arrival. A single phone call to the new province's seniors line the week she unpacked would have caught it. If you've relocated in retirement, do not assume your benefits followed you. Every province runs its own program, with its own maximum and its own paperwork, and the amount can swing by hundreds of dollars a month, depending on which side of a provincial line you now live on. Number 5. Manitoba and the Atlantic provinces, because these have the widest eligibility and the smallest awareness. Manitoba's 55+ program is unusual. It starts at age 55, not 65, so people write it off years before they qualify, and then forget it exists. It pays a lower amount, in the range of $57 a month, close to $700 a year, but it requires a separate application through the province, and it's aimed squarely at lower-income residents. Over in New Brunswick, the Low-Income Seniors Benefit is an annual check of around $400 that you have to apply for each year, usually with a hard deadline of December 31st. Miss the date, and that year's money is simply gone. One Moncton retiree applied on January 3rd, 3 days late, and was told to wait a full year for the next window. $400 lost over 72 hours, when a note on the fridge calendar would have saved it. Nova Scotia, Newfoundland and Labrador, and Prince Edward Island each run their own senior credits and heating or property tax rebates on top, some worth a few $100s a season. Nova Scotia's property tax rebate alone can return several $100s to a qualifying homeowner. The mistake across all of these is treating a small check as not worth the paperwork. $400 for filling out one page once a year is one of the best paid hours of work you'll do all year. Look up your province's seniors benefit by name and check the application deadline today. Number 6, and this is the one most people get completely backwards. Almost every provincial top-up I just listed is not really controlled by your province. It's gated to your federal guaranteed income supplement, and your GIS is gated to one thing: filing your income tax return every year, on time, even with no income. People think the provincial money and the federal money are two separate systems, so if one stops, the other keeps going. The opposite is true. Skip your tax return or let your income quietly drift over the GIS threshold, and you don't just lose GIS. You lose the Ontario, BC, Saskatchewan, and other top-ups riding on top of it, all in the same stroke, without a single warning letter. Picture a couple in Thunder Bay who each took on a small part-time job at $12,000 a year. The extra $24,000 nudged them past the GIS line, and they lost GIS gains and roughly $3,000 in combined top-ups the following year, netting them far less than the benefits they erased once you tally the clawback. That's how a senior loses $2,000 or $3,000 in a year and never understands why the deposits shrank. The fix is the same small act that protects all of it. File your taxes every year by April 30th, no matter how little you made, and keep your income picture current so Service Canada and your province can recalculate in your favor. So here's your one action step this week. Find out whether your province's senior top-up is automatic or needs an application, and if it needs one, start that form now. And either way, make sure last year's tax return is actually filed, because that single return is what unlocks every dollar we talked about. If this helped you, subscribe and share it with a parent or friend over 65. The ones who find out in time are the ones who keep the money.